There's a number out there right now that is changing the entire game for accountants in South Africa. 2 trillion rand. It starts with the national budget, but its shockwaves, they're reaching every student, every firm, and probably even your own career path. Let's get into it.
Just look at that. 2 trillion rand. Let that sink in for a second. This is not just some number on a spreadsheet. It's basically the key that's unlocking a massive shift happening right now across South Africa's entire financial landscape. So what exactly is it?
Well, this is the brand new updated revenue forecast from the South African Revenue Service. And what's really interesting here is that this number, it keeps getting revised upwards. That points to much stronger collections and a more stable tax base than a lot of people were expecting. It's a huge signal that the system is getting way more efficient at its job.
Okay, so how do we get from that massive national number all the way down to your career? Well, we're going to go on a little journey. First, we'll unpack the 2 trillion rand story and why it's such a game changer. Then we'll open up the brand new playbook for accountants. After that, we'll actually draw an opportunity map across South Africa, pinpoint the exact skills you need, and finally, we'll talk about how to make your career totally future-proof.
All right, first up, let's really dig into why this massive revenue figure changes everything, not just for the government, but for the entire accounting profession.
This chart really puts that R2 trillion into perspective. See, tax revenue isn't just some abstract thing. It's the fuel for about 90% of all government spending. We're talking about things like new hospitals, national highways, public transport. That's where this money goes. And that is precisely why having sharp, accurate financial oversight becomes absolutely non-negotiable.
So how is SARS pulling this off? Well, it's definitely not by accident. They've rolled out this really clear strategy, and it's built on 3 main pillars: an intense focus on compliance, using data for enforcement, and embracing smart automation. This whole high-tech approach is the engine driving that record-breaking number, and it's creating a huge demand for a totally new kind of accountant. And that brings us right to the heart of this shift. Because SARS's new strategy, it's not just some internal government policy. It is fundamentally redefining what it means to be an accountant in South Africa today. Let's take a look at exactly how.
Just look at this contrast. The traditional role was all about recording what already happened, bookkeeping, ticking compliance boxes. But the modern accountant, they're a forward-looking strategist, a data analyst, a tech expert. It's the difference between being a historian of a company's finances and being an architect of its future.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some theory. This is what employers are looking for right now. A newly qualified accountant who gets technology, can navigate complex tax law, and pull real insights from data. They aren't just another candidate. They are a strategic asset that this modern economy is literally being built on. So with these new skills in mind, where exactly are the jobs? Where are the opportunities? Let's take a tour across the country and actually build an opportunity map, and we'll start with the economic engine of the whole nation. To really see where the action is, you have to start here. Gauteng alone accounts for a whopping 38% of all registered taxpayers in the entire country. Now add the Western Cape to that, and you're looking at more economic activity than the other 7 provinces combined. This concentration creates this incredible gravitational pull for financial talent. I mean, Gauteng is the undisputed powerhouse. It's home to the corporate HQs, the Big 4 firms, and the multinational corporations. This incredible density creates a constant high demand for tax specialists. It pushes salaries well above the national average, and it opens up the most doors in those high-growth areas like corporate finance and tech-enabled accounting. But hold on, it's not all about Gauteng. The Western Cape tells a totally different story, one of innovation and growth. It's got stronger job creation rates and a hugely diverse economy. The demand here is for accountants who have cross-border skills. Imagine helping a Cape Town tech startup manage its international sales or navigate European tax laws. This is where accounting really starts to merge with strategic global consulting. Next up, let's talk about KwaZulu-Natal. It's a strong economic player, no doubt, but the accounting job market is a bit more concentrated, which means it's more competitive. So for a newly qualified professional here, the name of the game is differentiation. You have to bring specialized digital skills or deep expertise in a niche area of tax if you really want to stand out from the crowd. Now, what about the rest of the country? It's so easy to overlook these provinces, but honestly, that's a mistake. The dynamic here offers this fascinating trade-off. Yeah, okay, you might find fewer high-paying corporate jobs. But in return, you get way less competition and an incredible chance to become a big fish in a smaller pond. You could be the lead financial advisor for a growing local business or get amazing hands-on experience in municipal finance, a super critical and often underserviced area that could set you up for a powerful career in public service.
Okay, so now that we've mapped out the country, let's zoom right in on the specific skills you need to have in your toolkit to succeed no matter where you end up.
And before we even get into the list of skills, let me just say this loud and clear. This is not about fighting over a handful of jobs. South Africa has a massive, well-documented shortage of accounting talent. We are talking tens of thousands of open positions nationally. The demand is absolutely real. So for those who qualify, incredible job security and opportunity are just waiting.
So what does this modern toolkit actually look like? Well, don't think of it as just a checklist. Think of it more like a value chain. It all starts with the foundation, mastering tax law and SARS compliance. Then you layer on top of that the digital tools and automation that make your work faster and smarter. And that new efficiency frees you up to develop the really valuable skills, strategic and risk analysis. And ultimately, that analysis is what lets you do the most important job of all, actively supporting business growth.
So let's put all these pieces together, shall we? We've seen the huge economic driver, the opportunities all over the map, and the specific skills you need. So what does this all mean for your future?
If there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. SARS's high-tech, data-driven strategy isn't just some boring government initiative. It has fundamentally reshaped the entire accounting profession in South Africa. The old way of doing things is fading out, and for those who are prepared with the modern skills we've been talking about, the opportunities opening up right now are simply immense.
This big shift, it's not on the horizon anymore. It's already here. The future of accounting in South Africa is being defined today by technology, by strategy, and by data. The only real question left is, are you ready for it?